Hey everyone, and happy March. We are here with This Month in Housing, looking at what is happening in our local real estate market for Muskogee, Harris, Russell, and Lee counties. We're going to look at how February closed out this year compared to last year, just to kind of give you the comparison of what's happening in the market right now. And then we're going to bring in one of our local mortgage experts, Dustin, Steele, to talk interest rates and just kind of go through what's happening in the market with interest rates at the moment. So we'll keep this quick and we'll move through it fast because we know you have things to do. So let's get on it. All right, for Muskogee and Harris County, there were 215 closed sales in February as compared to 173 in February of last year. So that's a nice, bump up. It's not a huge difference, but it definitely it's going in the positive direction. The average days on the market was about 46 days, and last year was about 35 days in February. Average sales price for February was $252,000, and last year was $226,000. List to sale price percent, what did it at its final list price, after any potential price reductions, because we're seeing a lot more price reductions now, but after price reductions, what did it actually sell for in a list to sale price percentage? For February of this year, it was 96.99%, which tells us we are seeing some negotiations happening. And last year it was 98.22, so a little less negotiation happening last year in February. Currently, there are about 347 homes on the market in Harris and Muskogee County. Last year, this time, there were about 250, so we do see about 100, around 100 more homes on the market, so that's good. Bringing some new inventory in is helping to meet some buyer demand as well. There are currently 324 pending sales. This time last year, there were 467. So we'd like to see those pending sales be going up some, and I think as we move into spring, we are going to be seeing that. Let's look at Russell and Lee County. For February of this year, there were 87 closed sales, and in February of last year, there were 92, so kind of on par, pretty close, not any big change there. Average days on the market for February, this past February, was 34 days. Last year, it was 50 days. The average sales price for Russell and Lee County in February was $264,000, and last year it was $258,000. List to sale price percent was 98.76, and last year it was 98.13. So not a big change there. A little less margin on negotiation happening on the Alabama side right now. Active listings, there are about 187 active in the East Alabama Board of Realtors MLS system for Russell and Lee counties. Pending sales are about 131. Last year, there were about 130 active listings. So at 187 now, we're seeing more inventory on the Alabama side. And there were about 181 pending versus 131 now. So again, just like in Muskogee and Harris County, those numbers are down a little bit on the pending side. But I'm not really too worried about that. I think we're going to see some nice things coming into market and creating more buyer activity for things to go under contract as we move into our busy season, which begins in March. This is where we kind of kick off our spring season, and we're typically, our busiest time of year is usually between March and July. So we are full force into it now. All right, that gives you all of the quick stats on what happened in February. I'm going to bring Dustin in now to talk all things interest rates. All right.
Hey.
Good, bad, or otherwise, what do we have interest rates?
I think overall good.
Okay, I'll take that. I will take that.
I think overall good. It is up and down, but overall, I was just on Kim a few minutes ago. I think a good way to look at this, because a lot of times I'll just throw numbers at y'all, and I think it's hard to keep up with it because I'm just throwing percentages,
Yes.
Point this and point that. But in comparison to this time last year, we are about a 0.75%, so 0.75 of 1% less on rate on average between all products than we were last year this time, which equates to, on a $250,000 house, that's about $125 per month less in payment this year than it was this time last year.
And that's good news. That's good news. That means you've got a little more affordability happening as those interest rates are shifting some. And that's what we want to see.
That gives you about $20,000 worth of buying power that maybe you didn't have last year.
And that can make a difference in whether you get a home that you absolutely love or one that you like but maybe you don't absolutely love. $20,000 really does make a difference in price points and what can be available in the market at a given time.
Right. So I think we're heading in the right direction. I think trying to time the market, and when is the right time to buy is really difficult because it is such a roller coaster. But if you love the house, I still think the time to buy is now. The right time is always for you.
Yes, I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine that's kind of coming into the market to purchase right now. And, she was kind of just still concerned about interest rates. And, so many people are still stuck on the 2s and the 3s. And, guys, it's just gone. Those days are gone, and they're not coming back anytime soon. So we got to move past that. But I was telling her, I said, look, the difference is, if you buy now and you find something you love, the market, while it's competitive, it's not crazy competitive in most cases. So you get what you want, you lock in at a price you feel good about, and you refinance when the rates go down. Because as the rates go down, buyer demand is going to go up. While we are seeing some new inventory coming in, we're still in a low inventory situation. Right. So when rates really do drop under 5, I think all the experts are kind of saying, look, it's going to create a little more of a frenzy in the market again, potentially. So you don't want to, you may pay a little more on interest rate now, you can refinance that later, or you could be in a situation if you sit on the fence waiting for the interest rates to drop, you could be in a position where you're paying more for the home. And you can't refinance that. You can't refinance to adjust that expense. You're just stuck with what it is at that time.
Right. Especially when you throw in just natural appreciation of the home. I mean, what is that? On average, was that 3-4%, like in a normal, stable market?
Exactly.
On a $250,000 house, I mean, that would be about $7,500 just from waiting 12 months.
And think about it on the Alabama side. Last year, I don't know if you guys remember when we did our year-end review, even in what was considered a significantly down year in terms of overall transactions, overall here locally we were down 22%, nationally right around 20 to 25%. You look at that situation, and if y'all remember, home prices, the average home price still went up last year in Muskogee and Harris County almost 2%, and in Russell and Lee County almost 8%.
Right, that's a lot. It really is a lot.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that we're going to see 8% again this year for Russell and Lee County. That's yet to be determined. But my point is, even in a significantly down transaction year, we still saw home prices increasing overall.
Right, and then when you compare that with falling rates and increasing demand, and you've got people doing appraisal gaps again and maybe bidding over what it's worth, and you easily get to $10,000 or $15,000 more for the same house that you could buy today. In 12 months, easily. Where you might have locked in on a little higher interest rate. You've got to rent that rate for a little while, but then you refinance when those rates come down, and you're not stuck in that possible bidding war or something that could happen if rates really do get under 6% here in the next 9 to 10 months. Right. So I mean, and in general, and if you're looking at that, if it is a $10,000 increase in the sales price, it's about $60 a month.
Yeah.
So, and like we were just talking a minute ago, rates are about 3/4 less, which on average is about $125. So you would need that rate to fall in the next 12 months at least 0.5% to wash out the appreciation. If it did fall 0.5%, then you're going to have the same payment 12 months from now with a lower rate as you would right now.
Yes.
And like Kim said a minute ago, you can't get the house for $250 again. It's going to be $260 next go around.
Right.
The rates
or
move.
more at different locations and price points. You could even see a little more drastic change in that.
You can refinance the rate, but you cannot refinance what you owe.
Yeah.
Without finding a way to pay it with cash.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Either way, you're still paying
Right,
it.
you're still paying it, yeah.
So I think that kind of wraps us up for today. Like I said, we wanted to keep this kind of quick for you, get you the information, let you move on with your day, and ponder all things real estate. As you know, we are always here to answer any questions you have, to help give you guidance on whether or not now is the right time for you to be looking to buy or sell, and what that game plan is long term. Sometimes that process starts months and months in advance of action being put behind it, and so we're here to do that and work through that process with you. Anything else you want to add?
Not really.
All right. Well, we are wrapping up the March edition of This Month in Housing, and we will be back in April with the quarter end. We'll be actually talking about, I can't believe we're almost at a quarter, the first quarter of the year. We're going to be doing our first review of first quarter. How are we already in March?
It's flying.
Yeah, it is. So you guys have a great March. Don't forget to reach out to us if there's anything we can do. How can they reach you, Dustin?
Best way is always cell phone, 706-405-6555.
Absolutely. Same here. You can call me, text me, 706-332-6349, or reach out to anyone on my team. We are always here to help. So you guys have a great March, and we will see you in April.